Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm George Alexis, the superintendent in Long Hill. Pleased to welcome you to our monthly webinar. This month's topic, as you know, is preschool, and Dr. Jones and Mrs. Colon are here to talk a little bit about the preschool and the process going forward now as we move towards the end of the year and start planning for the new school year. I just wanted to remind everyone that I sent out an update about strategic planning on Friday, and we welcome everyone's participation. And we're hopeful that you've had a chance to read some of the messages about strategic planning and that you are able to participate. So we encourage you to fill out the RSVP form. The strategic planning sessions will be facilitated by New Jersey School Boards Association. And the sessions for our strategic planning are scheduled for February 19th, March 6th, and March 18th, all at 7 p.m. The March 6th session is scheduled to be a Zoom presentation. The other two will be at Central Middle School. So without further ado, I will introduce Dr. Jones and Mrs. Colon and allow them to share with you some information about our preschool. Hope you enjoy the program. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. And this presentation couldn't come at a better time as we just had our preschool registration that took place last week. So welcome to our preschool at Gillette School. We enroll students that must be 3 years old on or before October 1st, and they have to be Long Hill residents in order to attend our program. Our tuition has stayed the same as it is currently, which is $950 per month for our students. We offer a full day program, 5 days a week. Our doors open the same time as K1 students. It's 8:45, and the class begins at 9 o'clock. Our classes are a combination of 3 and 4-year-olds. And as a 3-year-old, you will stay in the same homeroom, which is looping with the teacher, when your child turns 4 years old. Of course, there are conversations that we have in case that is not the best scenario for a student, but we've had great success with that. We also realize as of this year that the 4-year-olds that are starting off with the same teacher, they already know the teacher. There's already a relationship with family. So it really starts off the year on an extremely positive note. We had an interest form this year. We changed things a little bit based on feedback from last year. So we had an interest form to show your interest in attending our preschool class. Our preschool program, we had it opened up for 2 weeks and we closed it. It was not on a first come, first served basis. And we had a lot of students apply this year. We had 31 students, and this year we had 21 openings, which was great. The survey dates closed, obviously. All parents were informed whether their child was accepted into the program or not, and we do have some students on a waiting list. Some families need to know this, and also going forward, if you are already in our preschool program, you do not have to register. And if you are a 4-year-old and your child will be attending kindergarten, you do not have to register for kindergarten. We will automatically enroll your child into our kindergarten program. And some questions came up last year with families on do former students or current students, families receive preferential spots. And we decided we would not do that because then we don't feel that it's a legit open lottery for all families. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, and a wait list is if you do not get into the program, you just email myself and Miss Ritchie and let us know you would like to be on the wait list. Last year, we ended up maybe filling 3 to 4 spots on the wait list. So it really depends on every year. Okay, Ms. Cologne?
Hi, good evening. So the state of New Jersey mandates for every district that has a preschool program choose from one of 5 curriculums. So the curriculum that the Long Hill School District has adopted is the creative curriculum, which is a research-based curriculum that looks at the whole child. It's a lot of hands-on learning, a lot of theme-based learning, a lot of project-based learning that really help the students build the skills that they need that will kind of get them started for kindergarten and really serve them well for long time and long term. It's very play based. There's a big emphasis on play and learning through play. It really looks at all areas of children's growth: social, emotional, cognitive, and physical development. There is a big component of it without not only indoor play but outdoor play. It really encourages children to really explore, experiment, and to kind of express themselves through a variety of different activities throughout each day that are both structured and non-structured and flexible. Kids need time to have structured play, but they also need time for free play to really learn how to interact with each other. The main goals of the curriculum is to help our learners become independent, confident, and motivated. It really to work on engaging children in meaningful learning that connects to everyday experiences and to build a strong foundation for academic success and social well-being. One of the tenets of the curriculum is that a lot of the early learning skills, early academic skills like the alphabet and numbers and counting, and those early literacy skills are kind of taught incidentally through play and through the different activities, not as much direct instruction in those areas. It's a really developmentally appropriate curriculum that we found a lot of success with. We recently purchased the newer version of the curriculum, the most updated version, and the teachers have gone through quite a bit of professional development to make sure that they're using it with fidelity, and they're starting to see some really nice success with the curriculum. Turn to the next slide. Again, a lot of it is learning through exploration, a lot of science, a lot of STEAM type activities, a lot of hands-on activities. The themes that are very broad themes. They're not things like the holidays or different like specific topics. It's really on much more global kind of themes like community helpers, animals. There's a ball theme, a boxes theme. And it's amazing how over a period of 3 to 4 weeks, they carry that theme to do some pretty incredible things. One of the themes this year in the fall was a whole trees unit, and it was amazing what our classrooms were able to do with trees and leaves and going out into nature and getting the materials and bringing them back into the classroom and building different activities with them and learning how to count with them. There were some really neat things done with the trees unit. But it does support the cognitive learning through hands-on exploration and problem solving. The social emotional learning how to interact with peers, which is so critical for our youngest learners, and really helping develop emotional regulation. That's really one of the tenets of being successful in school, is that you're able to really kind of regulate yourself and be able to sit and attend, which a lot of young children struggle with. So they really work on those types of skills within this curriculum. Both fine and gross motor skills through things like art activities and puzzles and outdoor play and building with different materials. And then, of course, all those really important language and literacy skills about storytelling and the early reading skills and engaging in group discussions about books and about different topics. So it's a very comprehensive curriculum that really meets the needs of the whole child and the children as learners. Next slide. So the classrooms are set up in different areas. So there's different centers. There's a dramatic play center. There's a blocks and construction center, an art center, math and movement, a literacy center, a toys and games center, discovery center, and sand and water play. And the themes for the unit that they're working on are infused into all of these different centers with different manipulatives and different materials and different activities. There's a lot of projects where the students will learn about one topic, and really kind of just continue to build on it. So if they're learning about an animal, they learn about the habitat, they learn about the sounds animal makes, they learn about role playing through animals. So there's a lot of really big projects that are kind of integrated within the school day for the students across specific themes. Lori, you want to talk about their daily schedule? You want me to keep going?
Sure, I can. So a typical day in our preschool, it involves a mixture of all the activities that Ms. Cologne just said. And there are 2 separate occasions where they have free choice time. Sometimes that's outdoor, sometimes that's indoor, depending on the weather, depending on the structure of the class for the day. Some examples, you start the day with a whole group circle time. You talk about the theme, introduce the theme, and then you follow it up with small group activities, and then play based on this theme in the different interest areas. The schedule also includes time for outdoor play. This is not including our outdoor recess time. Snack and lunch. There's a rest period at the end of the day. And there's an individual exploration at all of the different centers based on the theme. So the balance really helps the students maintain their attention while we are providing them with freedom to choose and explore their own interests. So this year we supplemented our curriculum with the Marco Polo learning. And Jared, do you want to just talk a little bit about that? We sent our teachers to another district to really watch the students in motion and speak to the other preschool teachers, and they loved it. So
Preschool learning is a language-based program that teaches a lot of vocabulary, a lot of and the nice thing about it is that they've aligned it to the creative curriculum themes. So they provide us monthly with different themes and then activities within their platform. It's an electronic platform within their platform that the teachers can do within the classroom setting. There also is, which will be coming home students, the current students, a school home connection where the teachers can push out videos that are associated to the content that they're working on and the themes of the month to the parents. And the nice thing about this is that the videos are available in English, Spanish, Chinese, and Haitian Creole is about to be released. So it is available in 4 languages, so that for students are multilingual language learners, their families can watch the same videos both in their native language and in English to really kind of make that connection between English and their native language. But the videos are very, very child-friendly, very developmentally appropriate, very engaging. They have little avatars, little characters that kind of introduce the videos, and the students engage with the characters during the videos. And then there is some hands-on activities that they've infused into the platform in order to kind of make it more interactive and just to give the teacher some additional ideas of things that they can do in the classroom that are connected to the curriculum. It's a really innovative program. I believe it's a fairly new company, and they've really their professional development for our staff has been incredible. They're actually coming back to the district virtually on the 13th of February to work with our preschool teachers and one of our ELL teachers at the younger levels. It is definitely a very early childhood-based program, but we are using it both in our preschool and with our multilingual language learners at the K1 level. It's really a great program, and the home family connection. So going forward, when there's long breaks, they'll send us kind of a choice board that we can share with the families of activities that you can do at home. It'll have QR codes. The parents can just scan the QR code to bring them right to the activity within the platform. So it's got some really great benefits that the parents will be able to use at home also.
thank you. Okay, I'll talk a little bit about our lottery. The dates obviously have passed, but we have registration survey dates that are open, and it was a very seamless process. So we're going to continue it this way going forward. We then open Genesis for parents to upload all of their registration information, which makes more sense once you're accepted into the program as opposed to uploading everything and then hearing that there were no spots available. We chose by lottery, as I said. It was computerized. And we had 3 people, including myself, who were witnesses, school office personnel who were witnesses. So it was done fair. And, we pulled the names right off of the computer. And written phone calls are received if you do get into the program. Written communication is sent out to let you know you have not been into the program. And again, to email us to be on a wait list. And originally we had this parent session scheduled for January 8th, but we didn't know coming back after the break if we would have a large population, and 17 is actually great. So we're glad we pushed it to the end of this month as opposed to the beginning. And we are going to have a new student orientation that is going to be held either in the spring or the summer. This is separate than our open house. So last year I had a kindergarten orientation. This year I may have a pre-K and a kindergarten orientation. So I'm working on those dates either before the end of this school year ends or at the very end of the summer. So that information will be sent out definitely well in advance so that parents can attend. And the open house, just so you know, that occurs the day before the first day of school. It's at the end of the day. Mrs. Dawson and I, she's the principal of Millington. We stagger our times. So if families have multiple children, they can attend. This is for new families of Millington and second grade. And it's for all families of Gillette School. So that will take place where your child can meet his or her teacher, see peers in the classroom, and take a tour of the building. Okay, at this time, we thank you for attending. If there are any questions, you can enter them into the chat and we will do our best to answer them. If there's something that for some reason we can't answer, we can definitely follow up back with you. Okay. Okay, I don't see any questions.
If anyone wants more
Oh, here we
information.
have one.
Oh, here.
I'm sorry. How many times a week on average will students participate? It was cut off. Okay, so the first question, I don't know what students are participating in, so if you could just add to that. Oh, here we go. In screen time learning, preschool, very limited, screen time. If any screen time at all, it's when they have computer class and they are playing. There's different centers. They're on ABCYA. They're playing with Legos. They're playing with a lot of manipulatives they're building. Screen time in the classroom. Academically, there is no screen time in the classroom, but a teacher may have a song up on the smartboard, a weather song, or a days of the week song where the students will just watch a video and sing to the video. But it's not academic driven screen time for preschool.
The videos that are used are more interactive. It's a lot of movement activities and things like that, music and movement.
Okay, is there a deadline for when to register new students that were accepted? I believe it's 2 weeks after you received our information, but we'll just call you to remind you. You're not going to be removed from the program because you didn't register yet. So we'll call to remind you, and then there's appointments for you to come in and bring in the affidavit of residency and all the other paperwork that we would require. So not really a deadline, but we don't want to call you 10 times to remind you either. So what will the classroom size look like? Kids per teacher, pre-K and 4 mixed. Pre-K, yes, 3 and 4-year-olds are mixed. Right now, we are looking at approximately 13 to 14, maybe up to 15. We do have students that enter throughout the year from early intervention. We never really have an exact number of students. Jerry, you could talk more about this, but right now our class size is looking at around 13 to 14. And
Right. So
Jerry, we
we are
find
in-
out, go ahead.
Okay. We are anticipating the start size to be between 13 and 14. As Dr. Jones said, we really never know how many students are coming out of early intervention. We have about a 5-month time period that we do have some knowledge of students that are aging out of early intervention and into preschool. But it's hard to really predict from year to year. We've had as few as 5 new referrals a year for preschool, and we've had as many as 20. Not everybody that's referred is eligible, ultimately winds up being eligible for services, but there's not really a great way to predict how many kids may be coming in. So I assume class sizes could go up to about 16 at maximum next year. I don't foresee it going much higher than that. This year they are a little bit bigger because we have had a higher number of referrals this year, which was part of the reason that we opened we did propose to open a 3rd class for next year. The process for IEP students joining preschool, students come to us from a variety of different ways. Many of them come through the early intervention system, where they're directly referred out of early intervention. Early intervention in the state of New Jersey provides services up to the day before a child turns 3. So if a parent is interested in moving on to the preschool program via early intervention, they do give us about a 5-month kind of lead time, where we would meet with the parents, decide on testing, test a child, and determine if they're eligible. We do have other children that start preschool in other settings and then are identified through that process and referred to the district directly from the parents or from the preschool. So children do come to us in different ways. The majority of our new students that come in are newly turning 3s, but it's not unusual that from time to time we may get a child that's already turned 4 joining us as a student identified with special needs.
Okay, is there before or after care available? Yes. We use a company called AlphaBest, and they do accept preschool students. Their information is on our website, but you can also email myself or Miss Ritchie tomorrow, and we can provide you a contact for AlphaBest as well. But yes, preschool students are invited to attend before and after care. Okay, space is limited in school, new classroom taking place of the old art and music rooms. If so, how will K and first one receive art and music? Okay, so there has been a lot of discussion on where this classroom will be. It may end up being the art room, but it's not a guarantee. So how I'm working this out is the preschool and kindergarten classrooms, as per the state of New Jersey, have to have a bathroom in their classroom. First grade rooms do not. So based on circumstances that we can't control, we are trying to look at every room that is available, where the students will be best placed, and that's how we're really going to figure out the room. I'm meeting with each grade level next week of teachers to gain their ideas as well, because they may have ideas that I may not be thinking of right now. And it's really going to be whatever works for the best interests of the students. So we have to have, our square footage is 1,050 for preschool classrooms. We are opening up a new classroom with a lot of supplies, materials, different centers. So it has to be a very large room. But we are going to make sure that all of the students at Gillette still have access to art and music, and it's not taking away anything. We're going to do everything we can. We're going to try to think out of the box, but it is out there in the public that we could possibly be using the art room, and it's a possibility, but it's not set in stone yet. And KN1 and preschool, all of the grade levels, they receive art and music. It just depends on the schedule. And we also share, so Gillette and Millington and Central all share the specialists, which means Mr. Manto, He's our PE teacher. He teaches PE at Gillette and Millington. The art teachers at Gillette also are art teachers at Millington and at Central. Now, sharing a specialist from Central is a little different because there's a lot less flexibility because Central runs on cycles. So it's definitely something to consider for our schedule, but the other principals and I and Ms. Cologne work very well together, and we will create a schedule where students will not be gypped of any special or anything that all of our students will not be receiving. How many students are in the current preschool classes? I think we have about 17 now, Ms. Cologne?
So I believe one
16,
class
17?
currently has 16, the other class currently has 17, and we are anticipating that before June of 2025, we will be at 18 in both classes.
How many teachers and assistants? So there's one teacher per classroom. We have one teaching assistant per classroom, and there may be other teaching assistants in there as per IEPs. Okay.
Are there any other questions?
And this presentation will be on the district website by the end of, I believe, by the end of the week. So if there are any further questions, please feel free to reach out. And thank you for attending.